What's good, everyone? We're back. My name is Greydy Diaz.
And I'm Boss Rozendaal, aka The Mountain. You are watching the 10-minute sprint. Greydy, it was more like a 14-hour sprint today with another 16 games. There is so much to talk about, but I want to know, what were some of your biggest highlights of today?
For me, it was the WNBA players that pulled up. Asia Wilson, Kalia Copper, Jewel Lloyd, and so many others. And we had the Queen of Spain pull up, FIFA President, Prime Minister, French Prime Minister. Who else can we expect? I wonder, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of royalty out there.
And one more thing, we had very big shots from so many different players, from Ryan Howard, Dearica Hamby, Miezis, Barry, Molenhauer, and Higuera.
Yeah, the day of big shots, we should probably dub this. Look, for me, it was the fact that the fatigue is starting to set in a little bit. Look, on the pro circuit, both on the men's and women's side, it is normal to play 2-day tournaments. This tournament has been going for 4 days. All teams have played 6 games, and you can see it's had an effect on some of the teams. Look at Canada, losing in overtime twice today. One of the teams that it didn't seem to have an effect on, though, is my second highlight. It's Latvia. They are like a machine. Unstoppable, took care of business twice today. They're atop the ranks. We will talk about them for sure, but I am so impressed with them. Incredible play by them.
Boss, we have some great guests today on the show. We hand in our daily awards. We will speak tactics and strategy. We couldn't possibly go through every single game, so we will focus on the last 8 games. But before that, let's give some love to the 3 teams who played both their games early today. Boss, you got Australia women and your Dutch countrymen. Of course, I'll take care of the Lithuania men.
And not so fast there, Grady. I think we need to remind everyone that every day on the show, and yes, I get to say this proudly now, we compete in a little free throw challenge, and I'm proud to report I got my first dub today. That means, Grady, I prepared a short list of 3 words that you will need to include in the 2-minute summary of the games coming up. My 3 words for you are, and note them, Parmesan, encyclopedia, and Hawaii.
Really?
Yes. Good luck with that.
All right, I got this. Why don't you start with Australia while I'm preparing my lines?
All right, I got you.
Okay.
All right, so the Gangaroos were locked in like a safe combination against Azerbaijan, putting pressure on the rim and setting the nets ablaze with 5 shots drained from long range. A 21-12 victory set them up for a big matchup with Spain, but unfortunately, Lauren Mansfield tweaked her back in the warm-ups, wasn't able to go. Playing with 3 in this game of 3x3 is so hard, especially in the heat of the Concorde. They kept things close until 17-17, but fatigue struck and a loss for the Aussies was the result. Let's hope Mansfield's ready to go tomorrow.
Yeah, and Lithuania started the morning with a 21-16 win against China. Pukelis and Jaugis finished with a combined 17 points. What impressed me most was them going 15 for 15, yes, 100% from inside the arc. To their advantage, Zhao led China with 7 points. In their second game of the day, Lithuania lost to the Dutch by just 1 point. Pukelis showed up with 7 points and a dime that was like Parmesan on top of spaghetti. Just beautiful.
I like that. All right.
But it was their turnovers that really set them back. They had 11. They are now 3-3 in pool play so far.
All right, well, let me take the Dutch here. The Dutch were once again too much for the opposition. First, they got the better of Poland in a very physical matchup. Worthy was dropping dimes like he had a hole in his wallet, adding 4 key assists to his 6 points and 3 rebounds. What followed was a rematch of the finals of the OQT in Utsunomiya against Pukelis and Lithuania. All 4 Dutch players scored between 4 and 6 points in this one. Arvin Slachter broke a 16-16 tie with 25 ticks on the clock, splashing from the deep like Aquaman. The Dutch stuck this one out 19-18 at the end, and they look to be picking up some steam.
And in one of the most exciting games of the day, Azerbaijan pulled out a 2-point overtime win against China. Hayes, whose bag is bigger than an encyclopedia, showed out with 11 points, 5 rebounds, and Molenhauer dropped 9 points and a fire game winner. She deserves a trip to Hawaii after that performance. For China, Mingling Chen and Lily Wang combined for 15 points.
That was good. I got to give it to you. Look, for our next game, a bit of an upset if you look at the earlier stages of the tournament, because Don't look now. USA, after starting out 0-3, they have strung together 3 victories. Canada didn't make it easy on them though. Hailey Van Lith had to sink a huge 2 to send the game to overtime. In 3x3, an overtime game, as you now know, the game clock is off. It's the first team to get the 2 points that wins. Canada scored first, but it was Ryan Howard, cooler than a polar bear's toenails, splashing a huge 2-ball to get USA the dub.
And USA men finally got their first win, beating France 21-19. Canyon Barry has stepped up huge without Jimmer. He had a game-high 16 points today. Segala led France with 7 points and 7 rebounds. Not bad.
Look, next up was the game we had circled as game of the day. Latvia made sure to end their 5-game losing streak against the #1 team in the world, Serbia. They were clicking like a computer mouse, hitting 7 2-pointers, 3 each for Laches and Lasmanis. Serbia got 7 points from the Maestro, but kind of looked out of sorts in this one. Latvia took it 21-14.
And another fun ending in Spain's 2-point win against Canada. Sandra Igueravide went off with 10 points, including the game winner. You gotta love it. For Canada, the Plouffe sisters were dominant with a combined 17 points.
France and Germany then laced them up for another half-court classic at the Concorde. This was a very low-scoring affair. Score was tied 13-13 in the last 10 seconds. Sonja Greinacher, Sonny G, got the ball in isolation with just ticks to go. She threw up one of her patented 1-foot fades, shocked France with a buzzer beater we won't soon forget.
And it was a bounce-back win for Serbia against Poland. The Maestro put up a team-high 7 points. For Poland, Bogucki had 6 points.
Yeah. The battle at the bottom of the standings to close out the day. Jimmerless USA taking on China. Canyon Barry delivered like a UPS driver. He stepped up big once again. 14 points to keep USA's hopes of getting to the play-in alive and pick up their 2nd win of today. Incredible.
Agreed. 6 teams had a perfect day today. In the women's category, Germany, Spain, and the USA were on a roll. And in the men's category, Latvia, the Netherlands, and USA with no sub.
A total of 9 games were won before the limit, and those that weren't had plenty of drama. We had 3 games going into overtime today, Grady. Are you not entertained? Of all these absolute thrillers, which one stunned you the most?
Oh my goodness, there were so many today. How could I choose one? But if I had to, my favorite game of the day was definitely USA women beating Canada in an overtime off of a cold sidestep 2-pointer by Ryan Howard. She's been really showing out lately, and I peeped that right leg come up for some flair.
That was definitely a good game. But you know, I've been killing it in the fantasy game. USA-Canada was just another miss for me, though, in the predictor game, unfortunately.
Thank you, boss, for that reminder, actually. We have indeed participated in a predictor game with 3 other 3x3 experts. And with that Canada prediction, I'm glad to share that I am leading the league. Yes, I'm leading the league. Shout out to Jordan as well. And I'll let you read the rest of the standings on the graphic.
Can we just skip this? I think we're running out of time. Like, we got to keep it moving. Why don't we quickly move on to the pool standings? Yes. Yeah, why don't you take this one?
So Latvia has a perfect record of 6-0. Who is going to stop them? I don't know. Serbia and the Dutch are tied with 4 wins and 2 losses.
Look, on the women's side, it was Germany picking up 2 wins to stand atop the pool. That was great. A big faller today is Canada women. 2 losses again in overtime. That was rough for them. And we saw France fall all the way to the bottom of the pack. Rough day for them. As you can see, as it stands now, it would be Germany and Spain moving on straight to the semifinals.
Now for our team of the day. Today, our pick for team of the day goes to a team that has a special meaning for Boss, the Netherlands men. They had a perfect 2-0 record on Friday with wins over Poland and Lithuania. And to talk about the Dutch and their win against Lithuania, we welcome a guest that knows both worlds very well.
Yes, Camille Naci van der Horst has won bronze for Lithuania at the Europe Cup and is the better half of Dutch star Dimeo van der Horst. Camille, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. Camille, how weird is it for you to pick sides every time Lithuania plays Netherlands?
Honestly, it's really hard, I would say. Just because, Lithuania has my heart. I'm from Lithuania, I play for Lithuania, and DiMeo, is my other half. So he has my heart, so it's kind of divided, but it's always really a good matchup. It's always a really good game, so I'm happy either way, but, you know.
Look, it was a very, very close game, right, against Lithuania. What did you like from the Dutch squad and, of course, your man Dimes?
They play a really tough defense, and I really enjoy watching them just being so physical with every team. So I think that stands out the most to me, how hard of a defenders they are in this tournament. Also, the way they move. The movement is great, and I think this is one of the one of the best tournaments they've played as a team, and they're playing really, really well together.
And Camille, with the Dutch team playing so well, how excited are you about the team's chances to win a medal on Monday?
Oh, it's amazing. It would be a dream come true. The last Olympics they fell short. They were fifth. So the next goal is, of course, top three. A medal is a medal, and me and DiMeo have a wedding coming up, so I want him to walk and get married in the medal. So this is the whole plan. So this is what we got to do.
Well, thanks for those insights, Camille. Thanks so much. And you know what? I'll see you at that wedding.
See you there.
We talked about the team that impressed us the most today. On the other side, there's one team that really got us worried.
Yeah.
How does a team like
China make it to the top four in every big world event in 2019, end up in 7th place after 4 days of competition? That's the question we have for our next guest. Paul Peng Fei is commentating every big tournament on the FIBA3x3 social channels. Paul, how are you?
Hello, Roden, Greydy, and the Greydy Diaz. Nice to meet you. I'm finally on the 10 minutes ring. I'm good, perfectly nice. How about you?
Yeah, we're good.
We're doing great. Paul, first of all, we know the time difference is a challenge for you in Asia. So first of all, thank you for joining us at 6 in the morning. How have you been covering the games so far?
Yeah, it's really big challenge for me because I need to stay up all night to, continue the game. In my time zone, I always continue the game. It started from 3 p.m. It's really big challenge for me. I need to stay up all night. It's really hard.
Yeah, well, you're doing it and doing it well. Paul, what has been the reaction in Chinese media and from fans on social media after the team's very slow start?
Yeah, it has a little bit, it's gonna be very petty for the social media and the fans, but the match hasn't come to the end. There won't so much negative words and comments on the social media and fans. All the things they have done to the Team China women is to encourage them to finish the game as perfect as they can. For the medias and fans, they know the most important for the Team China is encouragement. So all the comments is about the encouragement. Yeah, just for now. And there must be some, in conclusions, all the things need to do after the match, after the Olympics.
So Paul, you know this team very well. You've seen them play for years and years, and here's what struck me. Lily Wang is one of the biggest stars in 3x3. She was the top scorer at the Tokyo Olympics. This time, she's not even the top scorer on her team. How do you explain her struggles?
Yeah, it's a very struggling time for Li Wang because she's in his 31. This is a very challenging time. She just stepped from 29 to 30 to 31. All the athletic, strength and the practice need to change. Especially the men's side. He need to adjust his men's side, and last season and the end of women's series, he got a very hazardous and devastated injury. The cruciate ligament. She can play the game now, but she didn't recover from that kind of wound. It's a very hard thing for her. She needs to change his man side from 29 to 30 to 31. This is a very challenging time for an athlete.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that totally makes sense. So Paul, thank you so much for all of your insights. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. All right, and we have agreed on all of our picks so far. But as we move to players, I already know we will have our disagreements.
So player of the day, we talk about this every day. We pick a player that has really struck us playing well today. Who do you have on the women's side?
All right, I have Tiffany Hayes. And let's just start with the support that she got from her teammates today, from the WNBA, Asia Wilson. And I think that was her secret stuff. You know, when you're hooping, sometimes you feel like you got secret stuff.
Yeah.
That would, like, her support was definitely, you know, that motivator today. She had her second 555 of the tournament today. That's super impressive. Her first game, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Second game, she had 11 points, 6 highlights, 14.1 p-val. I mean, that's a really high number, and she's just hooping overall.
Look, I told you already, she's fastly climbing up my ranks as one of my favorite players out there in Paris. But I'm taking somebody else. I'm taking 39-year-old Sandra Igueravide. She's leading the tournament on the women's side with 10 two-balls splashed from long range. La Reina has led her team to 2 wins on the day. She scored 9 to take care of Australia in their first game. And then in their game against Canada, she was called on in overtime and delivered the game-winning 2-pointer to seal the deal. Spain's looking very dangerous, and Igueravide a huge part of it.
That was tough. You know, I want to see, or I'm curious to know who fans agree with. Is it you? Is it me?
Yeah,
Not sure.
Look, let's move it over to the men's side. Let me start off, and then you can go. I've picked a player on the team that hasn't lost yet. Norris Miezes is playing at an incredible level. He's shooting almost 40% from long range. He's hit 15 two-pointers on the tournament. One of those 15 was a game winner earlier in the day against France in just an amazing game. He cooled off a bit in Latvia's second game of the day, but they still got the win and were undefeated, so I want to give it to Norris Miezes. Who do you have?
I have my guy from USA, Canyon Barry. He is playing out of his mind right now. In the first win, he had 16 points. In the second win of the day, he had a game-high 14 points. For the day, he had a total p-val of 29.5. Like, are you kidding me?
I've never seen anybody in 3x3 score 30 points in a day.
He's playing at such a high level.
It's ridiculous. I can't even.
And what a moment it was for his dad, to see his dad in the stands. He looked more excited than anybody, maybe even more excited than Canyon. So what a moment for his family, right?
Yeah, definitely. Look, after picking our player of the day, let's move on over to the top scorers in the competition. So on the women's end, it's actually Tiffany Hayes, you talked about her, tied for first with one of your fantasy players, Alex Wilson. So you did a good job there. Hayes, you talked about her. She scored 17 points on the day, did so well. Wilson slowed down a little bit. She had 12 points, didn't lead her team. That was actually Marina Whittle, who you can see here tied for third with Kat Plouffe. And obviously in last, the other Plouffe sister, Michelle Plouffe. Canada, though, dropping 2 games today, so that wasn't great. How's it look on the men's side?
On the men's side, Canyon Barry again. He's climbed up the ranks to number 1 after some stellar performances. He had a game winner in his first win earlier today. He's up 30 points. Jang is up 12 points. Pukelis is up 15 points. Then you have Batman and Robin to follow.
You could say Barry went nuclear. Did you know he's a nuclear physicist?
Honestly, I just found that out a few days ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
It is extremely cool. But look, as you all now know, Greydy and I are part of the most competitive fantasy league ever with our 3 other experts, Jordan Robinson, Kyle Montgomery, and Vince Chang, and I can watch this graphic all night long.
Listen, your Naudis Miezes is basically a cheat code at that point, but look, don't celebrate, it's too early because I'm right behind you in second place with my superstar team.
All right, well, look, Vince is in last. We can't make fun of him because he's the only one with an injured player, right? He picked Jimmer, so I'm leaving him alone. I just want to say to Kyle, who is second to last, look, buddy, it's okay. You really tried on the draft. You're very, very hardest. We are so, so proud of you. And in the Olympic spirit, it's not about winning. It's about participating. Thanks, Kyle. Now let's check in on Paris.
So every day we will call a member of our team who will bring us behind the scenes in Paris. And today we welcome back to the show our friend Dan Mavridis, a former U.S. national team player who's now working with our team. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing lovely. Thank you for having me again. The video's working, and it was a beautiful day of games, as you saw. The energy was electric.
Dan, it's good to finally see you on video. You're in Paris to help our sponsorship team. What has been the reaction from all the potential sponsors and organizers since you've arrived?
That's a great question. It's been a really big celebration. As you know, there were no fans in attendance at the Tokyo Olympics, the debut in 2021. And so to have all of the FIBA3x3 partners, family, fans, new and old, it's just been a big celebration, and everyone's happy to be here. We've had some great events, great participation from everybody. And when you have this melding of all the international cultures, that's really the ethos of 3x3 basketball. So it's a beautiful time to celebrate what's been in the works for over a decade.
Absolutely. And speaking of celebrating, the crowd today was incredible. How loud was it during the French games? And did you ever hear something like that at a 3x3 game?
I wish I could give you the decibels because it seemed off the charts. And I've never heard a game that loud in my entire career, going back, almost 10 years. When the French teams are playing, the hair goes up on the back of your neck. You can't help but even join the chants, whether you know the words or not. The MCs have been fantastic. And really, you've had fans from all over the world here to support their team. So it's not just the French men and women who have kind of been the stars of the show this year. It's also all the other fans joining in and supporting their countries.
And I have to ask, how are your ears doing today?
How are my what?
How are your ears doing?
My ears are doing, they're ringing a little bit. I don't know if I'm talking loud or not. It's like coming out of a war zone in there. 4,000 people immediately on top of the action. Everyone's with each other, chanting for their countries. And then you have another couple thousand people, probably double the arena, outside the venue, able to participate and see on really large jumbotrons. And so the energy is just overwhelming. It's a beautiful backdrop with the Eiffel Tower, and you can't really ask for a better atmosphere.
Now, look, I need this insight. Greydy's talked a lot about the incredible guests that we've seen in the stadium so far. Which one stood out for you thus far, and how much does it say that these people are visiting about the interest for 3x3 basketball?
What a great point. It's so special. As you touched on, we've had prime ministers, heads of basketball federations. We've had some of the biggest, most well-known athletes in the world stop by. I think for me, it's been the overwhelming support from the 5-on-5 players, men and women, coming out to support this new game and to see it in its, essence here in Paris and Place de la Concorde. It's something special. So I would say in aggregate, it's just been really nice to share what we've been building with the whole world. And I think everyone, as you've seen, has really enjoyed themselves at the games.
All right, Dan, thank you so much for being with us. Now, go get us.
Thank you so much.
Now, go get us some new sponsors.
Yeah, we're on it. Absolutely.
Now is your time to shine, boss. Today we break down a set play from Team USA. Let's watch the clip.
Today on Tactics, we're playing chess, not checkers. We're going to look at Team USA, who feature one of the best shooters in the game in Jimmer Fredette. And in this case, they use him as a distraction. Take a look at this play against Serbia. As you just saw, Jimmer is set up right here with his defender. It's Canyon Barry over on this side of the elbow and Dylan Travis on the other side. Now, the pass will go into Barry. Then Jimmer will move this way slightly to get the defense off-balanced, off-centered. Travis will come in for a screen on the inside here. Will touch the defender for Jimmer here, and right as both the defenders think Jimmer's going to get the open shot going this way. Travis jumps towards the basket, gets open, wide open layup. This play works very well for Team USA in this case because they have Jimmer as a distraction, leading to an open layup for Travis. Look, you'll see a lot of teams in 3x3 use this play though, because it's very common in the game, so you be on the lookout.
Boss, thank you so much for that, but how did it work without Jimmer?
Pretty much next man up here. Barry has been incredible, as you've noted, and he's kind of slotted into the position that Jimmer would normally take in these plays, and he's been getting the brunt of the scoring opportunities.
Now to our fan questions. So we got so many questions today about the rules the last few days, and instead of taking all of them in the show, we thought it would make sense to play a little video featuring the one and only Kyle Montgomery, aka the voice of 3x3.
So on our half court, you got 2 teams of 3 players with 1 additional substitute on the bench. Yo, what's up, sub? Can I check in? In 3x3, even the ball is different. This is the official Wilson right here. Trust me, it's groovy, baby. This game is pedal to the metal. 10-minute game clocks, just 12-second shot clocks, and a 1st to 21 scoring format for the win. If a team doesn't score 21 points, all they have to do is outscore their opponent within 10 minutes. And you know we keep it street. In this game, we score by 1s and 2s. Anything inside the arc is worth 1. Anything outside of the arc is worth 2. Still got it. And this game is all gas, no brakes. Literally, after the opening check ball, play is continuous. Make or miss, offense turns to defense just like that. This 10-minute sprint is just getting started. We'll see you at the top.
Did you see Kyle's shoes? Those were incredible.
I like them.
I like them a lot. Look, thank you to all the fans for the questions. We appreciate you. We like to interact with you, and we count on you to send more tomorrow because, yes, it's time to move the conversation to tomorrow's games already.
All right, so the day 5 game schedule. After 2 back-to-back marathons of 16 games, we're back tomorrow with just 6 games, all in the women's category. What will we do with all this spare time? I guess we'll have to see. The day will start with the last 4 pool games, and we'll finish with 2 win-or-go-home games, one between the team ranked 3rd and the team ranked 6th in the pool, the other between the teams ranked 4th and 5th.
Only 4 predictions for all of our experts tomorrow. All of us have Canada beating Azerbaijan. But after this crazy day in Paris, I am not sure about anything. As you can see on the graphic, plenty of disagreements for the other 3 games and perhaps a chance for me to get closer or catch maybe Greydy. I am behind though.
I'm coming. All right. And at this stage, we only know 4 of the games which will be played tomorrow, and yet we had plenty to choose from, including a heavyweight match between Spain and Germany. We stuck with our first pick, which is the rematch of last year's World Cup semifinal.
USA versus China. I'll be honest with you, when we first picked that game for Game of the Day segment, we thought these 2 teams would fight for a direct spot to the semifinals. Instead, both of them are kind of at the bottom of the pool standings after 4 days. USA and China have been 2 of the best teams in 3x3 game for years. China won the World Cup in 2019, and the USA actually took home the last edition in 2023. How did they do it? Well, by beating China in the semifinals. The American team won that game comfortably, 20-12. 5 of the 8 players who played in that game will take the court again tomorrow. It will be a do or die game, a topic that I know is going to be on your top 5 things to watch tomorrow.
All right, so my top 5 things to watch on day 5. At 1, I have the game pressure. We only have 6 games tomorrow, but at this stage, no more calculations. Every game counts. Second, I'm thinking knockout games, win or go home. The play-in quarterfinals start tomorrow, and if you don't win, you're out. At 3, I want to see the matchup between Sandra Higueravide and Mavis. They're two of the most creative players on the 3x3 court, and I can't believe they have a 19-year age difference. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's wild. That is wild.
And number 4, every day we get a chance to see more celebrities. We've had many NBA players, WNBA players, heads of state pull up. Who's next? At 5, I'm also intrigued by this rest day for the men. We heard of many injuries. How will the stars of this men's tournament come back from this? Boss, no rest day for us, right?
No rest day for us indeed, Grady. Thank you for another great episode.
And thank you, boss. And thank you for all of the 3x3 fans for watching. If you enjoyed the show, drop a like, a comment, subscribe, give us a shout out on social media. This was the 10-minute sprint, episode 6. Have a great weekend, and we'll be here again tomorrow after the games.
Bye-bye.
Bye.